Hi everyone, it's Audrey Alison, and I just wanted to set up this intro video to thank you for your patience in the delay for the November forecasts. It's 5 days after November, so I appreciate your patience with that. For those of you who've been patient, I wanted to let you know the reason behind this is because I just made a major move. I moved across the United States and I drove, and I really had a blast, but I could not record because I averaged about 8 to 9 hours a day in the drive. And it's very draining to record the videos. I needed to reserve a lot of my energy. And when I got to my loft in Jersey City, I didn't have Wi-Fi yet. I moved, so I have to handle some things in my own life, and I appreciate your patience. Right now, I'm still setting things up in the loft. So I'm at my mother's house, the house I was born and raised in several decades ago. But what I love about the timing of this is I didn't realize I would be recording here. And what I love about this room is I always get a lot of energy when I'm home in this house. This is the room my father passed away in, and I always feel the presence of him here, and as well as other family members, but I feel like it's going to be something special. So I really appreciate the patience with getting these up. In my new space, it'll be more conducive to recording, a little more professional, and a lot more quiet and clear and clean energy is in this loft. So I'm excited to have more time and the right space to record in. My older property in Los Angeles was starting to get very invaded with lack of privacy in the area. And I was surrounded by a lot of energy that wasn't working for me anymore as a reader. And that'll change. You know, I lived in that place for 14 years, quite a long time. And it just, I can't really explain it. I know I needed a change, and this is exactly where I needed to be. So, on to your forecasts. Again, thank you for your patience, and I'm wishing you a beautiful month. And the next video you see will be shot from my new place. So I'm excited about that too. This whole transition is exciting for me. Okay, on to the forecasts, and I'll see you soon. Hi Taurus, my name is Audrey Alison. Thank you so much for joining me for this forecast of November 2016. Please watch the intro if you fast forward it. It explains why I'm delayed 5 days with the forecast and how special this room is to me. I appreciate your patience. This month, it is rare for me to ever go into another month. In fact, in 3 years of having this YouTube channel, I've never done that. So thank you for your patience with that. Clearly, it was for an absolute reason. That's not my typical MO. But I'm using the Alchemical deck by Robert M. Place. This is my steadfast deck for those of you who are new to the channel. And if you are, thank you so much for joining us and for subscribing. All of you, thank you for subscribing. So let's start our forecast. The first transit I actually wanted to talk about isn't until the 9th, so we're making it in just in time here. On November 9th, we have Mars transiting into the sign of Aquarius. And when that occurs, that is actually giving energy and stamina in the 10th house of career. So energy, stamina for promotion, for a job title, for the status change. I love Mars in the 10th because this is where male authority figures, because of Mars ruling the masculine, in the 10th house of the male authority figure. The 10th house is paternal, masculine. The 4th house is maternal and feminine. So you have a double masculine energy here. This is about the emperor. This is about making strong choices in career, taking action in career, being your own catalyst in your career. And you could also see retirement happen here for those of you at that age, because Mars is pushing for it. And when he enters Aquarius, that actually stimulates Jupiter in Libra, the sister air sign to Aquarius. So for you, Taurus, that is also the 6th house of work and health and daily routine. Your job is impacted. And a trine is a very harmonious placement. Jupiter in your 6th is already expanding the workload and the hours to your day. And the abundance that you earn from the job and your health is looking spectacular with Jupiter in the 6th. Having this trine exist could see elevation in the career in big ways. Mars is here for 60 days. It'll take him 2 years to get back into this 10th house. So throughout the rest of this year, there is a lot of energy here. And the 10th house is the highest point next to the midheaven on the astrological chart. It's the pinnacle of your purpose. Why are you here? Mars there wants you acknowledging that, and there will be no lazy Tauruses happening. There's no time for laziness in the career sector. On the 11th, we have Venus, another personal planet transit, into the sign of Capricorn. This also works for you because that is a brother-sister earth sign. Venus in Capricorn is about your 9th house of foreign travel and higher learning, certification, and even law and politics and religion and philosophies. Your belief system. Venus is smoothing over the belief system. Oh, I just had a big message, and maybe I will just say it. The 9th house of politics, Venus, the feminine, going into the political sector. I'll just leave it at that. But for Taurus, there is an engaged belief system here. Venus will be conjunct Pluto when she enters Capricorn. This is a level of intensity that Venus isn't always used to. So the harmony and balance that she can emanate is then met up with Pluto's intensity and deep-seated brooding. So you might be wrapping your head around something politically. I mean, this is election time. This is 3 days after our election. So it could be something with that, with Taurians that are dealing with that. But Venus overall is balance and love. So you could be loving a foreign location at that time, becoming in love with something that would be considered foreign to you, that you're not accustomed to. The next day on the 12th, another personal planet transit, Mercury, the winged messenger, Hermes, enters Sagittarius. And this is about your 8th house of intimacy and shared resources and other people's money. Mercury is the details, analysis, and information coming in a sector that is really important to have the details accurate when it comes to other people's money, your debts and resources, properties, loans, investments, estates. Mercury's direct, so this is a smooth energy. You could be working behind the scenes, working with a realtor. You might be getting information about property at this time, Taurus. And when Mercury enters Sag, he'll trine Uranus in Aries, another fire sign like Sag. So this is the 12th house of secrets and 8th house of secrets energy, the quiet energy. All of this could be under wraps. You could be doing this privately, investigating your partner. Oh, listen to this. This is something I never thought of, but private detectives. Okay, so some Tauruses are pretty amazing, hiring private eyes to look at their loved ones and intimate relationships, which is brilliant. I never thought of that placement that way, but I was just given that. The 12th house is that quiet house of endings and keeping things at a very private place. And so is the 8th house. They both share that. The 4th, 8th, and 12th houses are very secretive and quiet, and they're the restful houses. So with Uranus in this 12th house, there's a sudden, surprising energy in the 12th to maybe want to discern this subconsciously in the 12th house. Interesting. Taurus, you're solving a crime this month. You're an investigator with this Mercury in the 8th trining Uranus in the 12th. I love that. You're analyzing. You could be spying, privately spying. Maybe this is it doesn't have to be in your car taking notes, but I just had a vision of that. And maybe you're like totally spying on someone with binoculars. I'm getting a lot of private eye, private detective work, which is cracking me up. It's not Taurus's normal style, but this placement is brilliant for that. And you'll crack the case, I'll let you know that, because on the 14th, the full moon is at 22 degrees of Taurus. That's the completion. You're solving a mystery. It's in the first house for you. This is your full moon. It's the only full moon you'll receive this year. Your next full moon is next year. So there's a completion. You might find out something through this expedition that you're not into, and you're then ending something in your intimate relationships. Now, this can't be applying to every single Taurus, so please watch your ascendant and your moon sign. But having a full moon in the first, in general, is coming to a completion with a goal of the body, with the self, the ego. What no longer serves you here in that energy. Maybe you're just putting to rest a self, I don't want to say selfish. What's the opposite of selfless? Self-full? Doesn't really make much sense, but maybe you're putting an end to self-serving is what I want to say, tendencies. And maybe you're completing a habit in the first house. You're done with something. There's an illumination for Taurus. If you're not completing anything, something will be seen here, which makes sense with the previous aspect. On the 21st, the sun enters Sagittarius. So from the 12th on, it's about your 8th house of intimacy and other people's money and property and investments, all things 8th house. The sun conjunct Mercury here is fabulous for those of you looking for intimate connections. It's fabulous for those of you already in marriages, connecting with the spouse again, being able to communicate with the loved one, being understood. And happy Thanksgiving in the States for those who celebrate. We have that after the sun enters Sagittarius. And then the new moon on the 29th is at 7 degrees of Sagittarius. Again, 8th house, new intimacies, new money, and new investors. If you're looking to accrue more earnings and you're looking to kind of double up the money, or put the money in the right places, the end of the month is where you really want to, well, between the 12th and the 29th is brilliant, but right on that new moon would be great to shift something up financially, or to meet new intimate relationships and connect with new partners. By the month's end, Neptune and Chiron are both direct in the sign of Pisces in your 11th house of friendships. So you'll be putting the rose-colored glasses back on according to the friends around you. You might not see them as clearly because when Neptune is retrograde, it's actually a little more clearer in that area. But Chiron is all about healing. The wounded healer, the asteroid in the 11th house, is healing over friendships that might have gone awry in the retrograde. Also, goals and wishes and clubs that you're affiliated with have a little bit of disillusionment, and you might be picky and choosy and wishy-washy, which is also Neptune, wishy-washy about what you really want to join. And I'm just getting a little message that for those of you who have signed up for a group or a club of some sort that's telling you that you need to commit to a certain amount of attendances to attend a certain amount of time. You might be attending 3 times and then blowing off the remaining 7 times and feeling like you don't know if you want to go, and then you have to lose money on that a little bit because they won't reimburse you. That's very particular, so I'm certain that applies to somebody out there. Let's look at the cards and see what they have to say for November. I've been shuffling the entire reading, so let's just get them out. And Taurus, if you'd like to read with me, I'm at audreyalison.com. I read all through the week. It takes me 2 to 3 days to reply to the email. After you make your payment, I get back to you and we set up the reading, and it's usually about 7 to 10 days out. So let's get to it. 8 of Cups. Variation, creation, staying in the present moment, artistic, skilled, and honing in on your craft. You see how that potter's eyes are not moving away from what he's doing? It's like a focus card. Let's see what else comes up. The Star. Absolute recognition, peace, the hope within. Very spiritual card. And it is about being in the starlight and performing, even for those of you, oh, look at that. The artistic performer, the artist, someone who is being seen and recognized. Let's see what else comes up. The King of Fire. Now, you're not a fire sign, so this is an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarian male around you. I like to keep the sexes as what they are, but again, you can interpret it any way you deem worthy. The King of Fire would be a male fire sign, but someone who's very passionate and very creative. So he could be the artist himself that maybe you're working with or that is investing in you. With that 8th house lit up with Mercury, the Sun, and the new moon there. You have 2 more cards. I just said moon, and look at that. Here's the moon. This card has come up in about 4 of the 12 readings. The card of Pisces. It's an emotional card, but it's about psychic ability and dream life and paying attention to your intuition. Now, our new moon is in Sagittarius in the 8th house of intimacy, which is also the moon. And that is a new moon up there, that crescent. So I want to say, intuitively, you might already know when you meet someone, King of Fire, or I'll even take it as far as to say Aquarian female. The Star is an Aquarius. And I'm getting a female energy from that card. And see how the moon has these 2 dogs? Maybe you are choosing between 2 people, but you're assessing it, you're analyzing it. The moon is not a card of action, it is a card of reaction. So let's see what else. Your last card, Queen of Swords. You've got a lot of players in this reading. This is an air sign female. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So now we have a double connection. Aquarius in the Star and Aquarius in the Queen of Swords. So Taurus, you're a fixed sign. Aquarius is a fixed sign. You could be running into this person. Maybe you originally are butting heads with this person because you do square each other. Being both fixed signs, there is a non-budging kind of energy here. But the Queen of Swords is brilliant. And for those of you looking for business partnerships and investment, you'll intuitively know she's the right one, or this could be relationship energy. It's going to apply differently, but I feel like you have people coming in around you. The 8th house of who you're intimate with and your connections in the 8th and the 11th house. Oh, interesting. So bear with me here. Pisces governs your 11th house of friendships and connections. And having Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, in that sector, Pisces is the moon card in the tarot. You're discerning these connections and you're intuitively processing this. There's a quiet analyzation with Taurus right now. It could be between several people. It could be regarding who you're connecting with in business and in pleasure. So focus, what we started with. Focus on what it is you are skilled at, what it is you need and require to get the job done, and take it from there. There's not a lot of distraction. You don't have any swords cards except the one that represents a person. So there's not drama here. This is just about your pace, your focus, and who the right players are coming in to the situation. There's recognition in your artistry or your skill set. End of story with that. You're getting seen in that month. I hope this was helpful for you, Taurus. I'm wishing you a sweet November, and remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.